That telltale yellow stain. It's the scourge to the consumer, but it's a profit opportunity to the carpet cleaner. We've got two brand new products. One is going to be our Matrix Miracle. The Matrix Miracle is an oxidizer product that we use. It's a wonderful product for taking care of all types of urine stains. It not only takes care of the odor, but it also takes care of the stain, which is kind of revolutionary for urine type products. We have a second product here that we're going to be using, which is our new DryPro Water Vac. Now this is going to be used for water damage jobs, and we're also going to be able to use this tool to take care of these urine stains and take care of them very simply. Now, the way we use these two tools in process, we're going to take the product, okay, comes with its own little scoop in here. I've mixed up some very hot water. You could get this hot water from your truck mount or any other place you can get water. You need about 120 degrees or above. The hotter the better. What I'm going to do is I've got a cup in here. I'm going to mix this into it. I actually put one. I've got about half a gallon of water in here, so I'm going to put about a half a cup in here. All right. Set this down. So all I'm doing is just stirring it up, and you see it's starting to foam. True oxidizer. Okay. Remember that this is like a normal spot, and we always start from the outside in. In urine, it's going to be like the tip of the iceberg, which means that basically what you see here, you're going to have to add on a good bit to the perimeter as we do this. Now this may appear to be a lot that's on here, but remember, where is the source of the problem? It's down there in the subfloor and in the pad itself. So I've got to have enough to get down there to the floor, to the pad, saturate the pad just like the urine did. Now I'm going to need to give this about 20 to 30 minutes for this optimum effectiveness. Once I've given it an adequate amount of time, I'm going to hook up my water vac to my vacuum hose from my truck mount and then just go through the process. Okay, I've let this sit there for about 30 minutes. The Matrix Miracle's been down there breaking up that old urine all the way down to the subfloor, into the pad itself, and throughout the carpet. Now I'm ready to use the DryPro Water Vac to extract it out. Okay, it doesn't get much simpler than that. Using the DryPro Water Vac and the Matrix Miracle simplifies it, which makes it actually more profitable. You know, we're not always that lucky where we have one spot that we can take care of it like we did with the Matrix Miracle. In many cases what we have the pet that keeps going back to the scene of the crime. Could be a dog, could be a cat. They have their favorite places. It may be a corner of a chair. It may be like the situation that we're going to deal with here, the corner of the room. And as we look at this, we're going to have a few more steps because this is going to be a more complex procedure. I bumped the carpet, pulled it back here. What I'm looking for first is going to be, what does my backing look like, and is that still in good shape, or is the laminate starting to break down on me? Second thing I'm going to look at is going to be the cushion itself. Now this cushion is pretty saturated. Matter of fact, if I was going to use a technical term here, I'd probably say it's yuck. All right, so we're going to pull that one out. Now we're ready to replace the pad. The easiest way to do this is to take a new section of pad. We're going to place it directly over the contaminated pad, and then I will take my razor knife, make a cut down each side here. And this is going to allow me to have a perfect match. I'm going to take my matching piece, put it off here to the side for just a moment, and get rid of this old, nasty piece of pad. And now I'm ready to do the inspection of the tack strip itself. As you can see, it has had some contamination, but it's not that bad. So in this case, we're going to leave the tack strip as is. When working with the tack strip, always wear heavy work gloves to protect your hands from cuts and abrasions. Dust and debris should be swept up or vacuumed. The floor surface can then be sealed with a product like odor barrier to prevent any bad odors from returning. Now make sure you treat the gap between the wallboard and the flooring. This is a common place for contaminants to hide, and if you don't treat them, the bad odor is definitely going to return. If the tack strip's only stained, it can be left in place, but you still need to treat it with an odor barrier. Once treated, place your tack guard over the steel pins. This will prevent any types of cuts or abrasions to the technician, and it also helps prevent the pins from puncturing the plastic. The plastic sheeting we're going to install can be taped to the wall to prevent the solution from running under that wall into another room. On the other end of the containment area, we'll overlap the undamaged pad with a protective plastic sheeting by about 2 feet. Now we're ready to lay the carpet back down so we can treat both sides of the carpet. Mix Miracle Odor and Stain Remover with hot water. The hotter, the better. Miracle is a blend of powerful oxidizers along with enzyme treatments that are going to break down the odor and other contaminants. Once the solution is thoroughly mixed, pour it onto the carpet. Your application rate is going to vary based upon the density of the carpet, but as a rule of thumb, you'll want to apply about 1 gallon of solution about every 4 square feet of affected area. A note of caution, you'll notice that when I mixed up the Matrix Miracle, I mixed 1 gallon of solution in a 3-gallon bucket. If I was going to mix more than that, I would have used a 5-gallon bucket. Matrix Miracle is an oxidizer, which means it creates oxygen or it creates a gas. That's why we'll never use a sprayer. I don't care if it's a 2-quart sprayer or a 3-gallon sprayer. The problem is if I put it into a closed container, that oxygen is going to build and it's got to give somewhere. That usually means it's going to blow the top off. So once again, an oxidizer such as Matrix Miracle creates oxygen, which means you need to mix it up in an open container and then it's going to work wonderfully. Once you've saturated the carpet in the trough, use an unattached carpet wand to help spread the solution around. Then test the carpet. If it's not squishy, you're going to need to apply more solution to the affected area. Now wait at least 30 minutes of dwell time. If there should be a severe contamination, reapply the Miracle after 15 minutes and then allow another 30 minutes for a total of 45 minutes. I want to show that how much water is actually in our trough, how much Miracle product you can see that's still in here. And what this does is actually soaked all the way through the carpet so that we have got a complete penetration to take care of the urine contaminants that were in the carpet. So now I'm going to use our new DryPro Water Vac to extract this out. Much more effective than it is if I was using a wand. Now let's check and see how good a job the DryPro actually did. As you can see, this is bone dry, and basically the back of the carpet is going to be slightly damp. Not much wetter than after you'd actually cleaned the carpet. So the idea of this is now that we have done a complete decontamination of the carpet fibers, the primary backing, the secondary backing, the latex. We've sealed the floor, we've treated all the floor, we've treated the tack strip, and we've actually even gotten back here into the gully. So we've done a complete decontamination. Carpet's almost as good as new. Remember that Miracle contains a variety of oxidizers that continue to work while the carpet is wet. So leaving it moist allows it to be most effective until all materials have dried. Once you've completed the decontamination of the carpet, now you can remove the tape from the wall, cut that side of the plastic so that it now lines up with the pad side of the tack strip. Use your razor knife to cut off any excess plastic sheeting that's now covering the unaffected padding on the other side of the trough. Next, remove the tack guard sections to expose the sharp pins on the tackless stripping. The new piece of padding that you cut in step 2 can now be inserted over the plastic. Now use the pad tape to attach the new pad to the existing uncontaminated pad, just as you would in any carpet reinstallation. Okay, I just put in the new piece of pad, I taped it down, and I'm getting ready now to go through and stretch it. A word of caution though, whenever you have a wet, tufted carpet, the latex that's in the backing now is in a weakened state. So as I reinstall this, I want to make sure that I do it very gently. So I'm ready to go. Another successful job done with the Matrix Miracle product.